This is question 2 on the Algebra 2 January 2017 Common Core Regents. And this is an exponential growth equation. So we have a rabbit population doubles every 4 weeks. There are currently 5 rabbits in a restricted area. So at time t equals 0, we have 5 rabbits. Or we can think of that as p of 0 is equal to 5. And t represents the time, as it usually will. And p of t is the population of the rabbits with respect to time. About how many rabbits will there be in 98 days? So again, there are a couple of different ways we could do this question. The first is going to be to create an equation. And this is an exponential growth equation. So we have p is p0, and then the growth rate. Now, this can be written as 1 plus r. If you were using a percentile growth, or we could just consider this to be the growth rate, because in this case, we're literally talking about them doubling. So this is just going to be 2 to the t. So what we have is p is the PO, which is the initial value, that's 5. The r is, it doubles every 4 weeks. Now, this means that if we put this in here, t is the time in weeks, it doubles every 4 weeks. So we actually have to take the t and divide it by 4, because at 4 weeks, well, we would have, it will have doubled exactly once, and 4 over 4 would represent that 1. So now we just need to put in 98 days, but again, remember, this is time in weeks. So 98 days, we take 98 divided by 7. That's the number of days in a week, and that is 14 weeks. And we can just put that right in. We get p is 5 times 2 to the 14 over 4. Take out our calculator here, and we've got 5 times 2 to the 14 over 4. And what we have is about 56 rabbits. We obviously don't have to consider the decimal values, right? Because there's no such thing as fractional rabbits or decimal rabbits. And also it does say about how many. Now, let's say again that we have forgotten this, or we may have not necessarily realized how to set this equation up properly, or we put 1 plus r, which would give us a significantly higher value. We can verify this in another way. So let's think about this. We have 5 rabbits to start. In 4 weeks, it would double. So we would have 10 rabbits. And that 4 weeks is 28 days, right? So in another 4 weeks, we would now have 20 rabbits. That would now be 56 days. And in another 4 weeks, we would have 40 rabbits. We'd add another 28, and we would get 84 days. And then in another 4 weeks, we would double one more time. We'd add another 28 days here, which would be 112 days. Well, the question is at 98 days. 98 days would fall somewhere in between 40 and 80, and there's only one answer that falls in between 40 and 80. So again, there's kind of the algebraic method, and there's kind of the logic method here. Either way is perfectly fine to get your answer, especially on a multiple choice portion of the test.